Hello everyone, this is Danny from creatingawebstore.com, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to place images of people together, combine images of different people together, and we're also going to be replacing the background, and we're going to be doing all of this in Photoshop CC. So to start, what we're going to be doing is we're going to take this image of this woman and this guy, and we're going to place them in this image with this car. So let's first clean up the background of this image here. So what we're going to do is we're going to double click on this layer because it's locked. If it has the lock here, you're going to want to double click it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here where it says Quick Selection Tool. If you have Magic Wand selected, it looks like this. If you have the Quick Selection Tool already selected, it would look like this. And then we're going to make sure that our brush size is correct. The smaller the brush size, the finer the details it picks up. Now this image is a bit complex I should say. So since the background isn't easily distinguished from the foreground, we won't be able to use the selection tool here for the whole image. So we're only going to use it on parts of the image that we can erase with it. So we're going to zoom in first so that we can see what we're doing. And now when you're working with this select tool, as you can see, I have it on the plus here, which means that I'm adding. And when it's on minus, it means that I'm removing. So if you're on a Mac, you're going to want to hold down the Option key whenever you remove parts of the selection. And you're going to want to release that Option key when you're actually adding to the selection. So I'm going to start right here. Right now, I'm only holding down the left mouse button while I'm dragging. So you basically hold down your left mouse button and you drag. And as you can see, I'm dragging along his shirt. And you can release the mouse button if you'd like. You don't have to hold it down the whole time. And as you can see, now I'm subtracting from the selection tool. And now when I release that Option or Alt key, I have to also release the mouse button for it to go back on the adding to the selection tool so that it's no longer subtracting. So I simply go in like that, and then here I go in as well. And as you can see here, I got a little bit of his shirt. So I'm just going to make sure that I don't go too close. There we go. And now I'm going to go in here, and again here I have to take away a bit. Alright. And now I'm going to go by his pant leg. This is easy because he's wearing black pants, so it's much easier to subtract from this than it is from other parts of the image. And as you can see now, I went a little too high here. So again, I'm going to hold down that Option key, Alt key if you're on Windows. And certain parts you can always clean up later. You don't have to worry about getting all of this perfect the first time around. The main thing is that you don't cut into the image. Everything that's around afterwards, you can always clean up. And this looks pretty good. And there we go. And now I'm simply going to go up like so. And parts that I want to keep, again, if I make any mistakes, I just hold down the Alt Option key and simply drag up to wherever I want the selection tool to be. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this hair part and all this other stuff for a different method of removing the background. Here I can actually get in somewhat close. Okay. And even here I believe I can get in pretty close. And there we go. And it looks like I won't be doing any harm. So I can go ahead and clear this by going to Edit, Clear. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and deselect, and I'm just going to clean up the rest now. So I'm going to take the regular eraser tool and just clean up around here. Note that I can actually reduce my brush size, but I'm not really too worried about that because I won't be going in very close, so I don't need to go with a smaller brush. And that's that. And now I'm going to use the background eraser tool by simply right clicking on the eraser here and then left clicking on the background eraser tool. And I'm going to make sure that sampling once is selected here. And for limits, I'm going to use contiguous. And for tolerance, you're going to have to play around with it. I have it on 10%. The lower the tolerance, the less it erases. The higher the tolerance, that's when you start going into parts of the image and erasing away at parts of the image. In some cases, you can actually use a high tolerance level, again, if the background is easily distinguished from the foreground. If not, you're going to have to go with a lower tolerance level. And I'm going to reduce the size of my brush a bit. And I'm going to zoom in closer to his head here. And I'm just going to erase. Again, anything that's further away like this, I'm going to go in with my regular eraser and just clean that up. It's not a big deal. And there we go. And again, I can pick up certain parts of the image later on, so it's not like I have to really worry about all this. It doesn't have to be perfect. The main thing is that you don't cut into the parts of the image that you want to keep. And you can always undo if you make a mistake. So I'm going to choose the eraser and I'm going to select the brush size. And now I'm just going to clean up around here like so. Like that. And we have a pretty good looking clean image here. Okay. So now it's time to clean up the image with the woman in it. So here I can try the quick selection tool and see how much it picks up. If there are parts of the image that I can use it for, I will. For example, as you can see by the arm, everything is fine here. And this is where we start running into little problems. So we're going to simply expand this a bit like so. Again, I'm holding down the Option key. And in your case, it would be, if you're on a Windows, the Alt key. And this looks really good. I'm actually surprised by how close I can get in on this. Alright. So now I'm going to go in like so. And I'm going to reduce this a bit. And I'm going to come in with the background eraser tool for this part. And here I can use this. And see, that's where it's playing with me a bit. And here I'm again going to subtract a bit, like so. And that's that. You know, after a while you get used to this selection tool here. It's not really that difficult. It might look harder than it is, but once you get used to it, it's actually pretty simple. Again, I'm not going to sweat the details. I'm just going to make sure that I don't grab too much of the image there. That I'd rather not erase. And around the hair, I'm going to leave that for the background eraser tool. And here we went in a little too far again. So I'm going to subtract. Again, I'm using the selection tool because if I were to actually go with the background eraser tool here, it would take a lot longer to do all this. And now I will unlock this layer because it's locked by double clicking it. And now I will go to edit and clear. And as you can see, we got most of it. So there's not really that much left to do. So I'm going to go, first I'm going to right click and left click on deselect, and I'm going to go to the background eraser tool here, and now I'm simply going to clean up what was left over. And I'm going to go with a larger brush. This I can actually grab later. Okay. In reality, I should have used the regular eraser for that, but, you know, I already had the background eraser tool here, so I figured I'd use that. Okay. So let's see what else do we have here. And everything looks pretty good. That was actually faster than I expected. So we're going to go to the regular eraser tool. And we're just going to erase the rest. Like so. And for this I can even grab the marquee tool here. Since it's faster, edit clear. I can use shortcuts on my keyboard, but I want you to see what I'm doing. So right click deselect, and now back to the eraser tool here. This is the regular eraser tool. It's really amazing how close you can get with the regular eraser tool and not do any damage. It's really best to use the regular eraser tool whenever you can because it's a lot faster than the background eraser tool. But as you can see, since I'm getting close to the hair here, I actually now have to switch back to the background eraser tool. Let me reduce the brush size here. As you can see, I raised the tolerance a bit so that I can clean up more faster. And there I went in a little too far. So I'm just going to go to Edit, Undo. And there we go. And now I'm just going to grab the regular eraser tool again and just clean up the scraps here. And I think it looks pretty good. And now I'm simply going to zoom out, and I'm going to choose the regular marquee tool here. And I'm going to edit, copy, and I'm going to paste this woman here where the car is, and I'm going to paste. And now I will go to Edit, Transform, and Scale. And I will hold down the Shift key while I drag. I'm holding down the Shift key so that the image doesn't get distorted. And now I will simply grab the other image. Edit, copy. And I will go back here and edit, paste. And again, I will go to Edit, Transform, Scale. And again, I will hold down the Shift key while I hold down the left mouse button and drag. And I will simply position the male model where I'd like him to be. And I will continue holding the Shift key while I drag up. And now when I'm happy with the position, I will simply double click for the changes to take effect. And now I will simply move the layer with the woman above the layer with the man so that she looks like she's in front of him. And now we have an image with two people in it. So, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos, and also be sure to check out creatingawebstore.com.